3, 2, 1. Let's get started.
This is the podcast.
All right, welcome back to another Healthy with Heartland podcast. We have a really special guest for you today. It's actually the man, the myth, the legend, the host of the Healthy with Heartland podcast, Justin Freishtat.
That's me. Thanks, Simon.
No problem. Let's just start with the first question that I usually give everybody. Like, how did you get started in the whole health and wellness game?
Yeah, so I feel like the health and wellness game for me was different than how I got started with Heartland. So I kind of got into the health and wellness just from exposure that I wasn't really asking for. So I was just around so many healthy people, and because I was an athlete who played hockey, I really was able to kind of get away with not eating well. So I was always very active through college. I never really had problems. I felt insanely healthy just because of the activity level and just being young, my metabolism not slowing down. And then I had a really bad injury and I couldn't use my leg for almost a year. And that was the first time that I actually felt my body deteriorate from bad decisions and weight gain, and it just felt horrible. I basically, when I lost my ankle and I couldn't really be active, I wasn't caring about weight, anything, and I just got to a place where I felt terrible, I looked terrible, and I was just like, this is gonna end badly if I don't make some changes. So that was probably about 10 years ago now, well, not quite 10, but coming up on it since I really started just being aware of that my decisions were gonna matter, long term in life. And I just started, just much like all of us, getting obsessed with learning about it, because once you start to learn a little bit, it gets kind of addictive when your eyes get opened up to the world beneath the world. Once you know too much, that's what's gonna hold you accountable, because you literally start to realize, if I don't make these decisions, I am literally going to poison myself to death. So I stopped doing that, and I'm still learning every day, trying to find the best ways to just stay healthy.
That's awesome. That's really great. I think one of the biggest things that you said was the fact that you were an athlete and at first you weren't eating well. One of the main staples that we like to talk about is not being able to kind of outrun a bad diet, basically. You can't outrun a donut, you can't out-exercise a bad diet. Can you go in on a little bit about that?
That's absolutely true. So once I got into this healthy lifestyle, everything's ebbs and flows. Everybody goes on vacation, everybody has cheat meals. The activity level, I'm playing hockey 3 times a week. I'm working out sometimes twice a day. And the only thing that really changes what I look like, when I get on those in-bodies at Icon Gym and I see what's happening, is diet, period.
After being in sports and being injured, you kind of fell off, and then that's when you noticed that it was super important to really dial it in. What were some of the first steps you kind of took?
One thing I want to touch on with that first is just, I found out what it was like to feel really bad. And because I had felt pretty good and I'd made a lot of good decisions before that, I knew that I never wanted to feel that way again. And I think that's the biggest problem with people that have gotten used to that, is they have no idea what really feeling good is like. I was getting tired from walking, which is it's mind-blowing once you're in good shape and you're eating well and you have all this energy that you would ever let yourself be like that. Yeah, the first thing was just rehabbing and being able to walk. Things you take for granted. The first time I was able to run again, it was the most liberating feeling ever. And then it was just obsession from there. I'm never gonna let myself go. I'm always gonna just be grateful that I have this working body and I have all my limbs and I can play sports, I can work out. The things that people take for granted, use everything to the fullest.
What are some of the things that you feel are the main staples that you've learned in your health and wellness journey?
I think it's the biggest difference between what I know, what a lot of us know in our community that the general population doesn't know. Even people that have a decent amount of knowledge, they know, okay, I should eat lean meats and vegetables. What they don't realize is that the quality and the purity of those products is so essential to what you're actually gonna look and feel like. If you're buying low quality chicken breast and you're putting these chemicals into your body and you're not getting the results you wanna see, there's a lot of people that are super frustrated with their results because of the crap that they're buying. So just because you buy vegetables, well, they're loaded with pesticides and chemicals, you're putting engine sludge in your body, you're not being healthy. You're just going down a sort of a better path than what you were on, but it's not the right path. So I think sourcing of whatever products, supplements, people go to Walmart and buy their supplements. It's full of fillers, you're not getting any of the benefits of that stuff. So it's I can appreciate the effort to make changes, but have to get the right products. You have to get stuff that's actually what you think it's going to be. So the sourcing of your food, sourcing of your supplements, how you keep your air clean, your water clean, all of just elimination of toxic load has made all the difference. Even from a year ago, certain little things, you should run the air purifiers a little bit, no, run them 24/7. Respiratory feels great, allergies gone. You know, all these little things that people don't realize they have control of. I was suffered with allergies for years. Didn't have to, you know? So address the toxic load. That's my advice.
I know you have a wealth of information on salts, and I run into a lot of conversations that people are like, oh, did salt and sodium, it's so bad for you, it higher your blood pressure. I just want to, you know, kind of like set the record straight with Justin Freishtat here on salts and what people really need to know about salts.
So this was a recent eye-opener for me because, like you said, you can always learn more. So I just learned a lot about salt, especially for active people, athletes. You need salt. And if you have high blood pressure, it's not because of your salt intake. It's because of the processed foods, the sugar, all these other things that are driving stress in your body that are increasing your blood pressure. You could eat perfect and have high blood pressure from stress. It's not salt. Your kidneys are designed to process more salt than you can eat. So actually not having enough salt is gonna have your kidneys halt production and actually cause more problems than not having enough salt. And especially if you're active and you're an athlete and you're sweating a ton, like all that salt that comes out, you need to have even more salt intake or you're gonna feel drained. Your body will actually have low blood pressure because you don't have that salt, and then it's harder on your heart. Your heart has to work harder to pump the blood if you don't have a good salt intake. So you can't really kill yourself with salt, so eat as much as you want, and your kidneys will take care of any overindulgence that you have. It's when you don't have enough, your body can't pull salt, so eat salt. That's right. Quality salt. There are differences.
Any other message you'd like to give to the Heartland community and the community beyond that's listening or watching or however they're consuming this content?
Yeah, don't be afraid to, tell people, even though people are gonna look at you like you're crazy. Like everybody thinks I'm crazy. And I just kind of laugh it off, and it's like, don't be afraid to tell them about the journey you're on. If they laugh at you, it's their loss, and just stay healthy.
All right, well, that's it for another Healthy with Heartland podcast episode. Thanks, Justin, so much for all the insight, tips to the health and wellness game. I feel like this was super informative, a lot of value here. For you folks, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Do it.
And we'll see you next week. Same time, same place.